Falls of Baleine. It is one of the most majestic falls in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Approximately 60 feet in depth from top to the very pool. Today we decided to visit it along the leeward coast, most to the northern side, both northeastern side of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It takes approximately an hour and a half by boat from Baleine to get here. One thing about Falls of Baleine, it can only be accessed by boat. So you must take a boat to get into this area. You notice how blue and inviting the water is? You must visit this destination. So my name is Cuthbert Tucker. I'm one of the founding members of the Vincy Island People hiking site. You can reach us by telephone 533-4375. I can contact my business partner Arthur Dishang by 533-5546. You can also be reached by email vincysislandpeople@svg@gmail.com. Now, Falls of Baleine, as I said, is a majestic fall that comes from the supervolcano. It runs on the western side of the island, and when it rains a lot, this falls also has a tendency to overflow its banks and flood out the whole entire area. I will show you some of the features as well around with the fall. If you notice the rock formation, that is because of the volcanic nature of the island. And this volcanic nature has caused the rock to protrude. And also, it makes some of the rocks them a little weaker than usual. So every so often we have rock slides. So when you come to this falls, you gotta also be very careful, because you also have that risk of rock falling and cause damage every so often, okay? From here, we are gonna leave now and go just around about 50 yards to the beautiful falls called the Mineral Falls in Du Valley. This falls was created after the volcano erupted in 2021, and the water is a little brownish red. That is because of the iron oxide, oxide that is being deposited and pushed out of the earth in the very area. So when you go there and you smell the water, you literally smell iron. Now, we have realized over the time visiting it that it actually adds to your life. It gives you more shiny, softer, beautiful hair. It also makes the skin extra smooth. And guess what? What makes it even better? It adds 40 extra years to your life. So that's something you must visit. So anytime you want to visit the Falls of Baleine and the Mineral Falls, contact us. Alright. Vincy Island People, right? We are a tour company, and these are some of the members. This is Mr. Arthur Dishang, one of the founding members. Also one of our tour guys, Mr. Lenfoot Guy. And myself, as I said earlier, Cuthbert Tucker. So anytime you want to do tours around St. Vincent and the Grenadines, you can contact us. This is the man responsible for bringing us to the waterfalls anytime we need a tour. Emmanuel Castle Keel from Baleine. So I'll hand it over now for him to give you some additional information about himself and how you could contact him.
Yeah, well, good morning, welcome to Emmanuel Tour. Our tour is the best tour, my tour, your tour. Alongside Tucker, the #1 tour guide in St. Vincent. Anytime you want to get to us, you book through Tucker, and Tucker get to me. We are all one. We do this as a team, we do this together. So it's my tour, your tour, best tour, Emmanuel Tour. I'm your special boatman. Make sure that you guys safe underwater. Make sure you guys get into the falls safe, and make sure your tour being safe. This is one of the most safest tour in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So do it with us always. Baleine, Mineral Falls, always. We the best.
We're the best. Alright, so we now reach out in the valley and we head into the mineral spring, which is about half an hour walk up the river. Depending on the nature of the trail, we might have to cut our way through, but we'll see as we go there. Alright, we're going to be walking over this side. And we'll go way up here. Yes. So we are currently in Du Valley. When you hear about Du Valley, you actually think about Chateau's brother. Du Valley named after Chateau's brother. Right? Up here used to be once, up here was once a farming community. Alternative farming as well. But it used to have a lot of people with shops and generators and so forth. But after the volcano erupted, they kind of moved away because of the danger. But it's starting to come back again. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so we're going to continue along our journey. Just arrived at the Du Valley Mineral Falls, the best falls in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Wife expecting our baby coming home after the shower, you know. You will take the mineral from the rock. You rub it on your skin all over. You rub it down, and after doing that, this is what we call the giver of life. Right here, this rock. As you can see the shape, you hold on to it. Then you get under the waterfall, and you wash it. Oh, there you go. Oh, it's good. You know, and you do that. It adds 40 years to your life after doing that. Now, This works so good here. If you take it out and take it home, it won't work. You have to come back here to do it again. And a matter of fact, when you do it, it actually even helps your hair grow. It didn't really help mine, but it helps your hair grow. It's a beautiful thing. You can own the place. You can actually enjoy that. So enjoy. Go to the ritual, everyone. Did you give up like that? Come on. I feel the power! Yeah! Yes! Gotta take some and... I'm in this bubble!
It's the first time you pure tea.
Make sure you get it good. But it only works here. All over your face, everything. Add 40 years to your life. If you don't believe me, come and try it.